Hello, welcome to the Alone Show. I'm your host, John Alone. In this episode, no regulars, because reasons as always. As for our guest, he is from Maryland. He works in a non-profit, he's a substitute teacher, and also a Doordasher. And possibly a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Dorian Rogers.
Greetings, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, and thank y'all for tuning in. Love the introduction, and excited to be here.
Me too. So, how's life?
Huh. I kind of feel like life is like an episode of Family Guy with everything going on in American politics. But, people power is something that I'm about, and we're going to continue to do the good work. So, cautiously optimistic.
Fair enough, yes. Is there anything you're working on at the moment or up to recently?
So a lot of the work that I do, particularly on the side with my nonprofit, so I serve in an organization called the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, right? And so this organization has been around for 115 years. And so really, what are we doing to ensure that everybody has an opportunity in our country, everybody's able to do and reach their full potential? And so whether it's financial literacy workshops we're doing with our kids and with our college students, whether it's getting our kids to DC, particularly with how politics functions and why it's more important that people get involved with a democracy, right? And how do you take charge with that? And so that's just a number of things that we're doing in our communities and really empowering within our people.
Fantastic. And what inspired you to be a part of that?
So, growing up in Maryland, diverse opportunities, but really, you have to understand that in order to really represent others, you need to first represent yourself. And so, growing up in Maryland and especially in 2016, 2017, where you had mass shootings that was taking the lives of kids around my age, right? I was inspired to take to the streets, and that's how I got into activism. And so, all these many years later, undergrad and now getting my degree, activism is very big with me still. And it gave me identity to who I am and who I want to be in this world, especially fighting for other people.
Fantastic. Are there any jobs or opportunities you haven't done yet that you would like to do someday?
I want to run for office. So, in American politics, it's not really something you see every day when you see young people run for office. You have to be 25 to run for the House of Representatives, so for Congress, particularly with some of our own elected state officials. And so that's something I want to run for is office. Um, Granted, that's not something you're hired by just one person. You're hired by the people, and that's something I want to do in the future, especially at a young age. But young age comes agenda, and agenda means representing the people.
Yes, very true. Where was the furthest you traveled to from where you're originally from?
Oh man, I mean, for the record, driving to DC is like going all the way to like Canada. Like traffic is crazy, and that's giving compliments to the traffic in Canada. Moreover, the farthest place I've been thus far is probably Bermuda, and I loved it because a lot of the history, a lot of the culture, and just being able to be in an environment where you don't really have that much technology. Loved it.
Nice. Which pizza topping do you most relate to?
As long as you didn't say pineapple, definitely go with some chicken. Here's why. I feel like you can get away with a cheat day saying at least you got grilled chicken on your pizza rather than saying like say let's say pepperoni or sausage. So I'll go with grilled chicken.
Enough, I stick to that as well. Have you met anyone famous?
Yeah, a number of people. I think most of them were in like the political office, congressional field. I think one of my fraternity brothers, Congressman John Lewis, definitely on the list. And I met Vice President Kamala Harris. Actually, it was pretty cool.
Okay, that's kind of cool. What's the largest thing you have ever seen?
Largest thing I've ever seen. I'll definitely go with I guess the Washington Monument, though I have been to New York, so I guess I'd be remiss to not talk about any of the other buildings, but yeah, we'll go with the Washington Monument.
Alright, sounds good. What should they teach in high school, but they don't?
Financial literacy, and here's why, and I'll be more specific. When we talk about skills that kids need, so when we talk about paying their taxes, investing in the stock market, like those things matter. And as somebody who teaches now, it's like, a lot of kids ask the question, why can't I learn how to budget my own money? And with everything going on in American politics, when we talk about student debt, when we talk about home ownership, we're not doing ourselves any favor by teaching our kids about financial literacy in our K through 12 schools.
That is so true. If you were given 500 acres of land, what would you use that land for?
I would definitely, if I had the Tyler Perry money, I would definitely turn it into a press studio. I'm a firm believer in investing in independent media, and I would turn it into studios for people to write, for people to have podcasts, and for news broadcasting. So then that way we control our narrative. And it sounds cliche, but I think that's a great usage of land.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Do you prefer pens or pencils?
Huh. I'll say pens, only because I feel like lead pencils, you're kind of getting the trade off of what pens feel and give off.
True. What current trend do you hope will go on for a very long time?
Hmm. Crocs. Because when I was growing up, Crocs were that was when they first got famous, and the reason why I loved it is because no matter the type of day you were having, they were comfortable and they were reliable. And I hope with everything that's going on in the world, we can have more Crocs and people can have fun and breathe a little bit.
Yes, I agree to that. And it's still going on to this day. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Whew. Intersectionality, particularly when it pertains to pushing policy. I can do that without any notes because when we talk about just our existence and being just humans, we all have different intersections that make us unique. No matter our differences, there's something that interconnects us, and that's a common experience. And I think that's something that channels policy and how we want to see our countries and our world and what we want it to be.
Yes, absolutely. Do you enjoy spicy food?
Hands down. Yeah.
Yes, me too. What fantasy universe would you like to live in?
Oh man, I would definitely want to live in Star Wars canon universe. Granted, it's a rough one with all the Clone Wars and stuff like that, but it's worth it.
Oh yes, it sure is. Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?
I would never age physically. I feel like, yeah, I'll go with that answer.
Sounds
Basically,
good?
be like Batman.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. If you could have a never-ending candle that smelled like anything you wanted, what fragrance would you want it to be?
Orange. Anything orange citrusy.
Yes, absolutely. Have you heard of a drink called banana friche?
I have not.
That's alright, that's what they all say. Would you rather be able to breathe underwater or have the agility of a cat?
I'd rather breathe underwater.
Fair enough. I actually go with that as well. What's the weather like where you are right now?
Sunny but cold.
Yeah, same for me. Although snow is coming my way, although it won't be much because I don't live in the hills or Scotland.
Yeah, Maryland weather. One day it could be 90 degrees, the next day it could be snowing. You never know.
Yeah, that's very true. Weather is chaotic and unpredictable. What kind of art do you appreciate the most?
I think East African art, particularly from the Horn of Africa. Very unique.
Actually, I agree to that. Very underrated, in my opinion. What is
E-
what is
It's a quote from Ida B. Wells. She says, "In order to right wrongs, you have to shine the light of truth upon it."
so deep? I love that. What improved your life quality so much you wish you did it sooner?
I think speaking publicly. Yeah, speaking publicly.
Great. If you were chosen to colonize a habitable planet, would you take the offer?
Uh, oh, yeah.
Fair enough. It's always good to try exploring new places. What's the best excuse for being late you've heard or used?
A drunk person threw up outside my door.
Oh, that's a
I mean,
new one. I never heard that one before.
I mean, technically, she wasn't lying. She wasn't lying. It was
That's
Thirsty Thursdays, and so um, you know, Thursday before Friday, so college kids do stuff.
yeah, fair, good point. If you had to bury a treasure chest, where would you hide it?
Where would I? Bethesda, Maryland.
Nice. What app can you not believe someone has not made yet?
I feel like an app to free up storage, like an actual app to free up storage.
Yes, good point.
I feel like
I've
every
actually
app they release.
I was going to say that I've seen an app or two where that helps clear out your storage and whatnot, even deletes duplicate photos.
Yeah, but I feel like most of the times you have to either pay for it or it's like they include like you have to like put a lot of your stuff in like a what are those things called? zip file or something.
I'm not
But I don't.
sure.
Maybe I should have been more. Maybe I should have said a free storage app cleaner.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. If you see a puddle on the ground, you walk around it, over it, or through it.
I'll walk around it
Yeah, me too. Most of the time. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
in public office.
Gonna argue with that? Gotta dream big?
Never know. Never know.
We'll never know. If you can get an exotic pet, what would it be?
I would definitely say a pet elephant.
Yeah. What was the longest trip you have taken?
A week.
Wow, that's a pretty long trip. If you could see one movie again for the first time, what movie would that be?
Mulan.
A classic. What natural landmark would you like to see someday?
Pyramids of Giza.
Sweet. Out of all the opportunities you've done so far, which one do you enjoy doing most?
Doing Model UN. That was definitely an opportunity.
Yeah, I never got to try that at school or college, wherever I was. But hey, it was what it is.
College definitely, especially doing at the UN in New York, definitely life changing, especially for a freshman. You could, when I came back, you couldn't tell me anything. It was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your favorite holiday tradition?
Watch football.
Cool. If you could get rid of a holiday, which one would you get rid of?
Jeez, that's a tough one. I would say, I would definitely say Valentine's Day.
Fair enough.
No
Not,
more heart-shaped pizzas for one.
yes, that is very true. Not everyone is in a relationship. Would you rather be really hot or really cold?
I'd rather be cold.
Me too. I don't mind being hot either, but I'd rather, if I have to choose between the two, definitely cold.
As long as I don't like sleeping in a hot area. I can't do it.
Yeah, neither can I. Although I can tolerate it, I just can't be bothered. I'd still go cold any day. What flavor of ice cream do you wish existed?
That I wish existed.
Yes.
Definitely Sprite and lime.
Hmm. Nice. If you could turn any activity into an Olympic sport, what would you likely to get a gold medal for?
Madden, playing
Cool.
football.
Sweet. If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think his title would be?
Either Renegade or I think like either Renegade or Neighborly or something like that.
Fabulous. Who was the last person you talked to?
Colleague,
Yes. Very good, colleague. What was the last funny video you've watched?
regular show.
Yes, I agree. I love that show.
Yeah, it was the scene where what's it called? They were at Skip's house and they were just like, he's gonna be so excited for this party. It's not that kind of party, muscle man.
Yeah, top tier, I'd say. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Talk all languages.
Yeah, me too. If you could erase one past experience, what would it be?
Oh man, getting a speeding ticket.
Those are the worst.
Yeah, I only got one.
Yeah, that's true. But still, it really gets under your skin. Yeah. Who was the funniest person you've met?
Oh geez, definitely my band teacher, my high school band teacher.
Yes. Very cool. What is the one thing you can't live without?
Oh man, definitely the red bags of Doritos.
Hmm, I could see that. What was the strangest dream you have ever had?
Literally, this dream happens all the time. I'm just sitting on a sofa couch, drinking a cup of coffee, reading a newspaper. Nothing's happening.
That kind of feels like the kind of dreams I usually have. Just like think somewhere, not much going on. However,
Yeah, it's just like an infinite loop. Nothing's happening.
yes, it's just what goes on? Is this how long is this gonna go on for before I wake up? It's like, oh, that was just not much really.
Yeah, just wake up like I'm anticipating something and nothing happens.
Yeah, exactly. What's the best way to start the morning?
Funny video.
Yeah, I agree. Because no one wants to start the morning miserable and drowsy or whatnot. If you could travel back in time, what decade would you want to live in?
800, 800. I guess would be 800 BC, BCE.
Hmm, okay. What
See with the
happened? Go on.
no, no,
Come on, I want to hear it.
no. I was just gonna say, uh, I was just gonna say being ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia and all those areas. Long
Ah,
bug
yes.
ride, but
Yeah, that's true. What happens in real life, but rarely gets portrayed in movies.
The two protagonists fall in love. That rarely happens in real life. Span of like 45 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. What was the longest line you have ever waited in?
When I was a kid, waiting in line for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Definitely a long time.
Yes, those were the days. I remember waiting in line to see a show that my university suggested I'd watch. Well, it turns out I was queuing for the wrong show. So I was waiting for nothing.
You know, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Yes, that is so true. Yeah, can't argue with that.
Always gotta go with the journey. Always.
So true. Because you never know, you'll learn so much from it before you get there. Would you rather not be able to open closed doors or not be able to close open doors?
Open closed doors. I feel like close open doors is yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Because then if other people can't open the door, then you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather never use social media again or never watch another movie or TV show again?
Social media.
Actually, I agree. I also would rather not use social media again. Because other than getting information, what's the point? You're gonna be stuck scrolling for who knows how long. It's just draining your brain away.
No, literally. I mean, literally, it's going to be to a point where it's going to be so many ads that you can't even see anything. By the time you see all the ads, you just about watched the entire movie.
Exactly. What place or activity do you find relaxing?
Oh man, definitely the library. Love going to the library.
Exactly. If you hosted your own talk show, who would you have on?
Hmm. Who would I have on? That's a great question. I probably would have John Cena on just to pull the whole string. You know how like every time he walks into a room, we're like, oh my goodness, nobody's there. It's just somebody standing there. I want to run a whole series episode on that, you know, just to see how long he would take before he probably would snap. But he seems like a nice guy.
Yes, he sure is. What's the most useless talent you have?
I play guitar. I really liked guitar growing up. I enjoy playing tuba much better.
Cool. Do you know a guy named Joe?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you know Joe Mama?
No, no, I don't.
Ah, fair enough. What's the first thing you would do if you won the lottery?
Huh. If I won the lottery, I would definitely invest.
That is so me. Because you never know, in these times, you got to be smart with your money. Prices going up. Can you even afford things these days like you did decades ago?
Not for real. What happened to the dollar menu? It's all gone.
Yes, Vamoosh they do. What takes a lot of time to master, but is definitely worth it.
To cherish a woman.
Yes, exactly. Because you never know what happens.
That's how you know you're doing it right when you don't know what's happening.
Yes, fair
But
point. How did you spend your last birthday?
celebrating with friends.
Sounds good. And that is all we have for this episode. It was great having you and Dorien talking about being a Doordasher, your non-profit, possibly substitute teacher, and loads more. It's been great.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Definitely appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Right. Take
And
care.
and until next time, stay
Till next.
tuned for more.